Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. And if you want to help this channel out, help it grow, and become part of the family, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It would help me out greatly, and I would greatly appreciate it. All right, now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Pisces be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the May 2021 full moon? How will Pisces be affected by the May 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Think of the spread as a tree. The branches here, the trunk and the roots here. All right. So this is going to be the supporting energy, the energy that we build off of during this time. The left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena and the public self. We have the Two of Cups, the Minor Arcana Lovers card, Unity, and we have the Hermit. This is Virgo energy, but it's looking towards our goals and our desires. It's turning inward, and it's finding that connection. It's finding that spark, and that's really exciting. We have the Strength card, which is Leo energy, and then we have the Four of Swords. So there is strength in looking back, not in being held by the past or feeling prisoner to the past, but in looking back and honoring everything that we have been through. And personally, we have to do that for ourselves. There's a way that we just kind of either want to push forward or pretend the past didn't happen or not see the beauty of where we are and how far we've come. And there's a need for that. There's a need to see the beauty, to see the glory of how we have developed. And even if we're not where we want to be, even if we feel like, my gosh, I'm in a dark, failing place, it's looking at the fact that we have the strength to keep on pushing forward, to hold on when there is nothing in us except the will that says hold on, which is what Kipling wrote in his poem If. And it's being able to push forward that way. And there's beauty in that, but there has to also be honor in that. Our emotional self, we have the Four of Wands. That is a gift like a wedding coming forward. Celebration, happiness, joy, success, bounty, beauty. And then we have the Ace of Swords. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of knowledge, handing us a gift of insight. We have the moon. This represents us in the major arcana. We are represented by the moon in the major arcana. Pisces is represented by the moon. And the moon readings are about the moon. So the moon in the public arena plays a huge role. And then we have justice, which is Libra energy. But this is also being discerning, balancing things out. And the public arena, we are going to feel the influence of this moon the most in the public arena. This is a time where we're pushing boundaries, where we're looking at things differently. But this is also the flower moon. I mean, this full moon on the 26th of May is in Sagittarius. It is named the flower moon by the Native Americans because of the flowers that bloom in May. But it's also very symbolic of us blooming during this time, because this is the biggest moon, the brightest moon of the year. It's astoundingly strong, and it is the second supermoon. It is also a lunar eclipse, and it is a blood moon, which is very, very rare. This is probably the most powerful moon of the year. It is amplified by the lunar eclipse, and Sagittarius, which is ruled by benevolent Jupiter, is telling us it's time to laugh rather than judge. And we see this within us. We want to celebrate rather than doubt, rather than fear. But we have to honor where we came from. And for one reason or another, that takes strength. That takes willpower and determination. Now, this is the most optimistic moon. It is also non-judgmental, and it is astoundingly positive. It is very laid back, which with our natural Pisces energy of being laid back, gives us a sense of maybe we're not caring about things as much to others looking in, but we are. We are definitely taking this moon seriously, and we're taking our own energy and our own self seriously. But others might want to worry and wonder, which can be a little bit annoying to us. We are going to be seeking adventures, and we're going to be seeking out wisdom. So we're going to be pushing boundaries. This is a time where we're astoundingly idealistic. The problem is everybody else is too. So everybody has their idea of what paradise should be, of what utopia should look like. And as Dostoevsky says, once we create our utopia, we would pop them like bubbles one by one, never being satisfied. And that's going to be the problem with this time, is that everybody's idealistic, everybody's emotionally invested, everybody has their idea what paradise should look like. And when they get there, it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. It just needs to have something changed. And that's going to be something that's really annoying really fast. So looking at things during this time and not saying, is it perfect? But saying, where do I stand within this? Is going to be so much better for us. Now, the moon is in Sagittarius, the sun is in Gemini. These are highly inquisitive signs, and they're also sister signs. And sisters, as we know, can be our best friends, our greatest allies, the best people in the whole entire world. They can also be the ones who push every button, who get us rip-roaring mad, who are, who say the exact right thing at the exact wrong time, and just set us off. So here, it's being very mindful of how these two energies can play off each other. They can be the best of friends and the worst of enemies. So just being mindful of that during this time is going to be helpful. Now, with the lunar eclipse, so we're looking at the bigger picture. We're not getting caught up in the minutia. We're taking in what we need to see. And it moves us to the fact that conclusions are within reach. Why? Because we're looking at the big story. We're looking at what we desire, not only from today and tomorrow, but as the days go on. But it's also holding the precious power of today and tomorrow in our hearts and saying, what do I want? And where am I developing? And what am I seeing? And where is it that I want to be? The lunar eclipse is going to affect these signs the most: Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. So we have to be mindful that the Pisces energy, that is us, is going to be very affected by the lunar eclipse and also by the solar eclipse on the 10th of June. Now, the moon is squared Jupiter, so this time we have to be very mindful of the news that we receive and the revelations that come our way, because they're going to be exaggerated. Our emotions are exaggerating everything. And again, it's because everybody's so idealistic. Everybody's looking at this bigger picture, this bigger dream, and saying, well, this, and it's kind of like when you're younger. I remember I used to do this in college. I used to make these big, broad, blanket statements. And my professor would say, that's not true. Like, you can't say that. And I was like, well, it's kind of true. And they're like, but it's not. So it doesn't matter if it's kind of or if it's maybe. It's not. And that's going to be what's really important here. Not getting caught up in the exaggeration of it all. in the, in the storytelling of it. With Jupiter squared, though, this is a wonderful time to create our vision of ourselves. So even though with the moon square Jupiter, things get exaggerated and everything like that, this is a time where we can use that energy not to focus on the news, not to focus on revelations, not to focus on, things like that, but to focus on who we are and what we want, and start drawing this picture of ourselves. Even if it seems like a caricature in our own mind, it's going to be powerful and it's going to help guide us forward. Now with the lunar eclipse, something is coming to a head during this time. And because of the Sagittarius moon, okay, this has to do with truth. So where does the profound change need to be in our lives the most? Where do we need to see the truth the most? This leads us to emotions running high and to attraction. So the supermoon has emotions running high, which amplifies the emotions of this moon, which can feel super intense already. Emotions run high, we are attracting to ourselves what emotionally we are focusing on. So being able to focus on play and laughter and joy and happiness is going to be so important, but because we have fear and we need to be discerning about things and we need to look and honor our past, it can be a very hard balance to find and a very cumbersome way to move forward. It moves us then to the new moon in Gemini. The new moon is on the 10th of June, and it says communication is key. The sun will be in Gemini, the new moon will be in Gemini. Our new starts begins with words. It just does, Pisces. And it's going to be funny because we're not going to want to really speak during this time. We're going to want to keep things to ourselves and think, oh, I don't have enough to say, or I haven't gathered my thoughts exactly the right way. Now is the time to express. It's kind of like dancing in the rain. It's just like, go and do it. It doesn't matter if it looks silly or if everybody laughs or if we think everybody's laughing. Just go. Just go and express and be and enjoy. This this solar eclipse on the 10th of June is going to amplify things. We can almost feel ourselves fraying just a bit at the seams during this time before the calm comes in. It's like being really, really, really hot and then having cold water just dumped all over us. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a shock. And then we just feel really good. So that's the energy that I'm seeing right here. On the 24th of June, we have the full moon in Capricorn. And the full moon in Capricorn is like everything starts to become more grounded. Everything has a practical plan. There's the sense of, okay, the whimsy is gone. And it's not necessarily a bad thing at all. It's going to be something that makes us look and develop and see and question and be and just really say, my life needs a practical plan. And what we're going to see here is the end of a tough cycle approaches. Why? Because we're taking the bull by the horns, we're taking the reins of the matter, and we're saying, this is what needs to be done. I've seen it, I've communicated with it, I've talked to myself, I've talked to my angels, I've talked to my spirit guides, I've opened up the door, and there is more here than will ever meet the eye. And it leads us then to the spirit animals in May, which are the beaver spirit and the elk spirit. We have the stag standing in because I do not have an elk. Now the beaver spirit says, lay a solid foundation. And the beaver spirit tells us it's time to trust our creativity. It's time to go after our accomplishments through cooperation, through connecting with others. But it's also motivating us to get a jump start, to jump, to go, to do. And the elk spirit, well, that tells us that we're entering into a time of plenty. It also tells us that what you need, you will get. Not what you want, but what you need. And so, with the stag spirit standing in for it, it says take that leap. Because if the elk spirit is saying, you have entered into a time of plenty, what you need, you will get, we're going to be called out on things. We're going to see things coming forward. We're going to see revelations coming. And it's because we're safe enough for these to come forward, for the change to have to be. And that's going to be our key, and that's going to be our sign to jump. Now, in June, we have one of my favorite spirit animals, which is the deer spirit, coming forward. And the deer spirit says, bring a gentle touch. I believe in a gentle touch. I believe in kindness and emotion and passion and just quietness. Our world is filled with who can speak louder than who is better equipped to tell you what to do with your life, who can get more angry, more outrage, more everything. It's too much. Bring a gentle touch. the deer spirit starts to change the energy vibration in our world. Because it is not vibrating for anybody else. It's not vibrating off of discord. It's vibrating within harmony of the self. The deer spirit represents sensitivity, intuition, gentleness, and fertility. Because when we are calm, we can create. In Buddhism, the deer spirit symbolizes harmony, happiness, peace, and longevity. And we can see that by being gentle, by being kind, we start to open up a world. And it's a world that we want to step into. The eagle spirit says spirit has your back. And the eagle spirit in Native American tradition was closely linked to the creator. And it was seen as a messenger. So, of course, spirit has your back, because it is the messenger of the creator that is flying with us. The eagle can see more clearly and fly much more higher. Can fly higher than we ever can. It is leadership, it is authority, it is the symbol that links us to courage, strength, and wisdom. And that's what we're embracing here. We're embracing gentle courage, strength, and wisdom. It leads us to this time of unity, to this time of looking and connecting. It is, I just see love around Pisces. I mean, seriously, it's just this sense of love. So if you're in a relationship, it's time to connect more beautifully with your partner. If you're looking for a relationship, it's time to put that energy out into the world and just go about your business. You don't need to go on dating sites. I mean, you can if you want, and do all these million of different things. But there's some sort of unity that's kind of like your shopping cart hit in the grocery store, or you're just sitting there catching your breath after a workout, and somebody comes and talks to you. It's going to be random, but it's going to be beautiful. It's this unity, and it doesn't have to be like that. It might not be like that for everyone, but there's this unity of spirit, there's this unity of soul, there's this coming together in a way that is beautiful and divinely guided and healing. And it can be that we start to come together within ourselves. We start to see the passion, the fire, the purpose, and the growing and the nurturing and the becoming. And this is what turns us inward. It's not everything externally, it's everything internally. And we start to shine, we start to radiate with it. There's a sense here of becoming more than what we had expected and being able to create more than what we had dreamed. And we hold our dreams in the lantern before us, and they are guiding our path. And that's important for us, Pisces, because we are dreamers and we are movers with the tide of the world, and we are connected. And this connection starts to open up our world. But we first have to do it within ourselves. It moves us, and that's with the solar eclipse. It's around the solar eclipse, because it begins with the solar eclipse. It begins unexpectedly through a thought, through an idea, through an action, and all of a sudden things start to tumble forward. So that's really going to be powerful. It can come to a head, to a climax on the 10th of June, but there's something here that starts tumbling, starts rolling forward. We then have strength and the Four of Swords. It is not brute force strength that we are looking at here. It is a strength through kindness, through respect, through nurturing, through understanding, through caring. And it is a sense of giving that strength that we can so easily give to others, to ourselves. And being able to look at the road that we have walked and hold our heads up high and be strong. Be strong and be knowledgeable and be powerful and be intuitive and let ourselves move forward with a greater grace and a greater purpose than we had realized that we had. And it moves us then to a place of healing, to a place of honoring our story. Stories are important. We tend to forget that, We tend to think, oh, well, it has to be something bigger, something interconnected. It is the story of our life. And the story of our life is interconnected with everyone who's come into contact with us along the way, but also with the different phases of us, just as we have the different phases of the moon. And it's going to be that way that we see ourselves developing. And we'll see the crescendos, we'll see the full moon moments of our lives. And a time where we waxed and we waned and we were completely dark, just as the moon is. And it moves us into our hearts, and our hearts want to celebrate the knowledge that is coming our way. Our hearts want to say, I've done well. And I'm embracing that joy, I'm embracing that passion, I'm embracing that power that is me. I'm opening up the door. I'm going after what I need and what I want and what I desire and what I long for. There's new opportunities that come our way. There's a sense of, well, I can. And there's a real sense of, I can do anything, can't I? And we kind of ask ourselves that, which is going to be quite funny to say, I can do it, can't I? I can push my way forward that way, or I can open up that door and I can take that leap and I can go after it, and I can see and I can become. And there's a sense with the Ace of Swords, it's a gift that's given, but it's a gift that takes skill to be able to wield. So with a cup, when you get a gift of the cup, the Ace of Cups, you know how to use a cup. You know how to use a pentacle. You know how to use a wand. But a sword is something we learn. And I'm really feeling here that the sword is given not as a gift to learn of how to use it, but because we already know innately how to wield it. We have been learning and developing and seeing and becoming more openly, more honestly than we had thought of. We're cutting through a lot of negativity, doubts, fears, but we're also knowing where we stand within our mind. We're knowing ourselves more and more and more. And that's why it's so important that the strength comes from honoring our past. Now, it can be our ancestors. It can be the journey that, our collective group of people have been on. But it's also the journey of ourselves. And it's not losing our singular identity to a mass identity. It is keeping the power of the individual story, true to our hearts, true to our souls, and true to ourselves. We're cutting through so much doubt and fear and negativity. We're cutting through so many layers of hurt and pain and disappointment. We're embracing the clarity of our sight, the power of our voice, and we are standing in victory, holding a weapon, which is the sharpening of our mind and the brilliance of our soul. It moves us to us. In the public arena, we shine. We will just shine during this time. Full moons, Pisces, either you shine during them or you don't. It's one or the other. There's usually no middle ground. This is a time where the subconscious and the conscious are called forward by the moon. This is a time where we see things more clearly. This is a time where we see ourselves more clearly. This is a time where we start standing up straight and going after what we desire. We start to hear our fears, and we start to conquer our fears, because they don't get to have that power over us. We start to hear our dreams, and we start to conquer our dreams, because they don't get to have that power over us. And we become discerning. So with the Justice card coming in, it will make us think, I have to be just to everyone. I have to do everything for everyone. But what it is saying is step back. What it is saying is be just to you. Be discerning of the energy you let in. Be discerning of what you say you will and will not do. Balance the scales. There is power here. There is beauty here. And there is insight. Take it. Move with it. Go with it. Grow with it. In our inner selves, there's a need to honor. In our external selves, there's a need to shine. Let yourself shine, Pisces. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let it stifle your dreams. And do not let it negate you. What is the strength that Pisces needs to call on? What is the strength that Pisces needs to call on during this moon? What is the strength that Pisces needs to call on during this moon? Angels and spirit guides shown clearly. Fantastic. Not being chained. It's the devil. It's practical energy. It's understanding what we desire, but it's also not being chained. It's not giving into addictions. The strength that we need to call on is not giving into the addictions that we have. Now, they can be addictions of drugs and alcohol and, sex and food and shopping and this and that. But they're also the doubts and the fears and the people pleasing and the never thinking our work is good enough, and the beratement of ourselves, and the, kind of cloistering ourselves away. It's whatever we do, it's whatever coping mechanism we have, and usually we've acquired our coping mechanisms when we are very small. It's whatever coping mechanism we have that is slowly and steadily destroying us. And it just is. And so the strength is to look at this and to say, enough is enough. I get to be free because I get to be me. How does this moon break Pisces of its chains? How does this moon break Pisces of their chains? How does this moon break Pisces of their chains? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. It protects you. It's protection, it's cradling, it's honoring, it's nurturing, it's that protection forward. How does this moon protect Pisces? How does this moon protect Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. You're very close to achieving your goals. That's how it protects you. It lets you see where things are going right. It lets you highlight and celebrate, and emotionally you feel this. You feel this more with a ferocity than you're used to. And so it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting close. I'm getting there. Like, I'm on the right path. I can feel it. And that's what you're going to say to yourself or to others. And they might laugh and they might be like, oh yeah, you can feel it, Pisces. But here's the thing. You can feel it. Don't doubt yourself. Don't laugh at yourself. Don't say, no. It's like, yes. This is right. What is the power of the gift that Pisces is getting? What is the power of the gift that Pisces is getting during this moon? What is the power of the gift that Pisces is getting during this moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. It's being a student of prosperity during, this is Temperance, this is Sagittarius energy. So during this full moon in Sagittarius, we are students of prosperity. That's the gift that's coming in. Okay, it's coming in as this kind of blunt truth that's guiding us forward. And it's going to start making us students of wealth, of growing our wealth, of growing what we desire as much as money, of pushing the boundaries, of seeing ourselves moving forward. It brings in balance. How does this moon grow the wealth of Pisces? How does this moon grow the wealth of Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's a creative time. It's a time of inspiration. It's a time of creativity. It's a time to kind of like lock yourself in your workroom and just go at it. Just create and create and create and let yourself continue to create. Charge your sacral chakra. Embrace your sacral chakra. Embrace it with creativity. Embrace it with sex. Embrace it with all the creative energy that you can, because it's going to start to purge out a lot of the negative energy that you've been holding from this life and from past lives. That's going to be beautiful. It can bring up a lot of emotions, so do be mindful of that, but it's time to create. How does this moon foster the creative process for Pisces? How does this moon foster the creative process for Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Don't let your past hold you back. It starts to free you from the past, from past ideas and ideals and the way that things are supposed to be, because we are honoring what we have been through. We are freed from the path that we had walked to the path that we are on now. What is the balance that this moon brings forward in Pisces? What is the balance that this moon brings forward in Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It resurrects you. Another major arcana card in the public arena. You're coming out of a box. You're coming out of doubts and fears, but you're answering a higher call. So it might not be that you're actually coming out of a box. You might say, Dane, I'm not in a box, and that's totally cool. But what we're going to see here is that we're rising up and we're answering this call. It's like you can hear this beautiful music when nobody else can. And it's not that you're, going mad. It's that you're actually hearing this call, this harmony, this beauty that is guiding you forward, that is raising your energy vibration, that is calling you to a new height. How does this moon call to Pisces? How does this moon call to Pisces? How does this moon call to Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's blossoming. And it's the flower moon, which is exactly what this moon is named. It's blossoming, it's becoming, it's beauty, it's joy, it's being here in this present moment. And it's letting that music, as she plays the violin, just sing through us, vibrate and resonate with our very core. How does this moon empower Pisces? How does this moon empower Pisces? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Adjustments are required. It fine-tunes things for us. And we're going to see that about it. It starts to fine-tune things. It starts to call things into order. It starts to have us see things more openly, more honestly. It has us looking and desiring and pushing limits. And that's going to be powerful because we're adjusting. We're rebalancing ourselves. And we can feel it. It's ever so slightly. It's kind of like when you're on one of those balance boards and you're wiggling back and forth and you're just adjusting yourself ever so slightly until you can start to find that beautiful center. And that's what we're doing here. What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of? What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of during this moon? What is the energy that Pisces needs to be mindful of during this moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Moving forward just for the power of money. Just for the power of the prestige that others can see and not for what we ourselves want. So that's going to be something to be very mindful of during this time. And then subconsciously, it's wanting to rule. It's wanting to say that, this might equals right, and this is the way that things should be, being drawn to people like that, but also being like that ourselves. So just being mindful, being mindful that there's a bit of stagnation within us. There's a bit of, it has to be this way. And that happens when we're having such a flow of mutable energy coming through us. This fluid adaptability that Sagittarius brings. And we're going to say, okay, I like this fluid adaptability. I'm good with it until there's going to be a part where it's like, no, I just want to hold on to what I want. And this is like, no, let it become, let it flow through. Our subconscious chakra message is play. Subconsciously, to embrace our chakra. Did we do a chakra message for this time? No. So then simply the chakra message for this time is play, is to embrace play. And that's so important because we can only play when we feel safe, when we feel secure, when we let the beauty come in. And so here, it's letting that beauty come in, and it's letting us feel safe enough to laugh, to joy, to be. Our subconscious Luna message begins with balance. This moon brings things into a balance because, again, it's making those adjustments. It's calibrating us. It goes deeper, and it brings us to the new moon in Pisces. It says meditate and contemplate, because there is grandeur on the way. Meditate and contemplate, and embrace you in the phase of darkness, of becoming. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, which is temperance, balance, harmony, insight, Sagittarius energy, connecting with the fluidity of this moon and the power that it brings. And then finally, our subconscious message for this whole entire time is the Six of Swords. It's taking our knowledge, It's taking our insights and it's moving forward. To the unknown, yes. Emotions run high, absolutely. But this is the moon that seeks out adventure. And it's taking our wisdom and seeing what that adventure will bring. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power of this rare and beautiful supermoon. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces, and may you have a blessed moon.